opposite to the side of side bend. So now we're bringing our attention to OA. All right, so CV is going to be OA, C1, 2. We're going to bring our attention to OA. Slide back towards me just a little bit. Okay, so now you have it's a tighter space to work with because now you're occiput to 1. So CO to 1. If I translate her head to the right, all right, so I'm translating her head to the right and everything else is kind of being dragged along, but I'm translating so it's happening at the CV, we're getting a left side bend. If we're getting a left side bend, what kind of rotation is happening at the OA? Right rotation. Good. So if I'm left side bending and right rotation, I forgot which glide is first. Okay. So the right. All right, I'm going to read that in a second. But all right, so when I translate to the right, and then they're getting a left side bend, a right rotation, we're getting what kind of glide of the left OA? Left OA. One more try. Anterior. Good. Now of the right OA, posterior. Okay. So remember, we're translating here. So left side means right rotation. Rotation makes more sense than side bending for the glides, right? And they're always paired. They're always going to be opposite paired. So you can think in one terms if you want. Yeah, it's definitely easy to visualize with rotation. So if rotation to the right, we're getting an anterior glide of the left OA, and we're getting a posterior glide of the right OA. Okay. So if I want to bias it, if I extend her a little bit, okay, and then I translate, which side am I biasing?
Right, the one that's going anterior. That's the left side.
That's correct. All right. So if I do extension, both condyles are gliding anteriorly. Right. If I translate, which is a left side bend, right rotation, which condyle is going anterior? The left one. So if I extend her and then translate, I'm now biasing it to get a sense of the left OA. Okay. Now from right here, because we have the weight of the body and I've translated her, so I've somewhat locked out from below, I can actually just start to apply a little bit of a medial push, an anterior medial push this way, and get a sense of the glide. So I'm pushing through the head, where my finger pads are right at the occipital condyle. Okay, so I'm right here. Raise your head. Face that way. So you have the bump of the mastoid, and you go in, you have the occiput, and the condyle is going to be underneath it. Right? So that's where I am. I'm just medial to the mastoid. Mastoid, just medial to the mastoid. Okay? So I come in, same kind of deal. I'm hugging the head. Alright? And now my finger pad is more on the condyle, or the occiput rather. And then I translate, or extend. I translate, I biased it for the left OA, and then I can do a little bit of an anterior glide of the left OA. Okay? If I flex, now I'm only doing a CV flexion, I'm not going to flex the whole thing, right? Just do a CV flexion, right translation. Okay? Now which side have I biased?
Biasing the right posterior.
Right posterior. Now, there are different ways you can do this. You can hook underneath the occiput, and you can actually do a posterior glide this way. Kind of pulling backwards, you're hooking, you're pulling backwards, but they're side bent, so it's an angle. It's kind of a sort of a straight backwards, but since she's side bent, I'm pulling this direction. When I come in, that's my posterior glide. Okay. Some groups teach it this way. Okay, I'm pushing through the cranium. Okay, that's okay. Craniosacral people won't like that. I'm sorry?
You're still going that way when you do that through the head?
Yeah, well, the angle of the joint is like this. So I'm still going to be, I still have that angle pulling this way, but since I've side bent her, it's kind of like coming this way. When you get your hands in there, you'll feel, you're going to play around with it. You're going to pull a little bit this way, a little bit this way, a little bit this way, and you're going to kind of feel where the angle of the joint is. All right? But remember that your facets are set up this way, and your condyles are sitting on it. So you're going to side bend, so you're kind of pulling lateral, but since you've side bent, you're changing your angle somewhat. It's more of a feel. Okay? So if I flex and translate side bend, so now I have her side bend, I can still side bend the head with my body just like what we did before. and I hook and I'm pulling down this way. The other thing you can think about when you're pulling, it's almost like I'm CV flexing her, right? Because if I flex her, then I'm getting that posterior glide. So I'm taking the head and I'm flexing her by trying to pull down this way to make the head roll anteriorly. Okay? Now you flexed her, so they shouldn't roll. Like if I start her here and all of a sudden I'm getting this much, I mean that I'm not at the end range. All right? So you shouldn't see that much movement, but you can think about kind of a scoop as you're rolling the head. Okay? So flex, translate, that should be the end of it. I hook, watch for hair pulling. Okay? And then you can give a little pull that way, or you can come from the occiput and give yourself kind of a posterior glide. And since she's a little bit turned, it's really in this direction. Okay? Again, cranial people won't like that because you're compressing through the cranium, but you can get a sense of the glide doing that. Okay? Try that.